Hello again, Internet. This is the Bagel, and this is also the final tutorial in my Origami Tetris 2.0 series of videos. As per usual, I'm going to start out with an 8x8 grid, dark purple paper. Now, this is my favorite out of all of them just because it's finally just one sheet of paper. It used to be 3 whole sheets of paper when I first designed it, and even more recently, it was 2 sheets. Which, you know, I don't know. Now that I've designed this, it just seems so much better than anything I could have even dreamt that this would be when I first started designing this Origami Tetris. But without further ado, let's get to our 8x8 grid. If you don't already have an 8x8 grid, go ahead and fold one, or you can just watch if you just want to watch, I guess. But yeah, I guess I'll give you a second to pause the video. If you don't have an 8x8 grid by now, then good luck. Alright, so, contrary to all of the other videos in this series, we're not going to take 3 off the bottom. This is a weird piece. We're going to take 1 off the bottom and 1 off the side, so we're going to end up with a 7x7 grid. Now, the reason we're not just going to start out by folding a 7x7 grid is one that's just stupid. I mean, trying to fold a 7x7 grid, that would just be too difficult, and it just end up wasting a lot of time. And 2, because we want all of these Tetris pieces to be able to come together and be proportionate to one another. We want 2 units on the square to be proportionate to 2 units on the orange Tetrimino, and that'll all be proportionate to this. I think this is a different Tetrimino. This is made out of a different size sheet, but I wanted to make it to where each sheet, like if you use the same size sheet for each piece, it'll all be proportionate. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a row off the bottom. Crease really hard, fold back. Let me know in the comments what you plan on doing with all of your scrap paper, because trust me when I say it leaves a lot of scrap paper. That's not even half of what I have. Alright, so we took the bottom row off. Now let's take a side row off. It's very important that you do your best to keep track of where you're taking paper off, because you can't put more paper on, but you can always take more paper off. Alright, I kind of screwed up that little in there, but let's see if I can just... Nope. Doesn't look like... Oh, there we go. Alright. Now we're going to flip it over to this side. So you should have a 7x7 grid. What we're going to do is we're going to count 2 creases from the bottom. 1, 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this crease and mountain it, and we're going to put it onto the next crease. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make a valley fold through these 3 units, skip this, and go through these 3 units. So you're going to put that together, you're going to crease these 3 units, skip that one, start again, crease that. So you'll have a little bit of a bend in the paper, but it won't actually be a crease, whereas this is actually a full-on crease. And you want to do the same thing up here. You can just go up 1, 2, 3, 4 creases, bring this up to the next crease, and once again skip the middle unit. If you crease through it, that's fine. It just won't look quite as nice, because that's going to end up being that unit right there, I believe. Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. No. Never mind. That's going to be the that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the paper 90 degrees, and we're going to do the same thing. So take the second crease, bring it up to the third, skip the middle unit, bring the fourth crease up and bring it to the fifth. Skipping the middle unit. Alright, so what you should have is something that looks like this. So it should have basically an extra kind of L in each corner. Now what we're going to do is basically we're going to choose what the sides are going to be and what the front and back is going to be. So I'm just going to choose this as one of the sides. I'm going to flip it over to the other side, and you want to fold. Just go ahead and pleat this. Obviously don't fold through everything, but it really only matters on this top unit right here. So you can just pleat through the paper, just don't fold down all the way. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make our normal creases where we make the diagonal folds. So I'm going to do this one, and now you want to make the fold through this pleat. So it should end up looking something like this. You can just pick that back up. But yeah, it should look something like that, and then you do the last one. Just like that. And now you want to mirror that on this side, so you want to start from this end and go from this point to that point. This is definitely the most involved out of any of the other, Tetriminos in this little group of models I've concocted. That's not to say it's necessarily the hardest, it's just, it's got the most crap going on, I guess. Okay. So now, holding the creases that we just made on the left and right, we want to fold on these two creases, just mount and fold. Not all the way, you just want to kind of get the creases standing up. And then you want to fold on the crease under the middle unit and the crease on top. So basically we're going to make one big X in the paper. Now we're just going to fold all of them at the same time, making a diagonal crease go from this point to this point. So we're going to fold a diagonal crease basically through that unit, but no further. So it should end up looking something like this. And you're going to want to do that on all four of the corners. You don't have to make it very strong of a crease. It just needs to be enough to get the paper going. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to be holding the diagonal creases that we made earlier in the front, and now you just want to, this is what it's going to look like from underneath. We're just going to fold on the pleats, and we're going to also at the same time valley fold on this crease, and it should use these diagonal creases we made, do something a little bit like that. And I'm sure you can probably see everything taking shape. Alright, and you want to do the same thing on the other side, so fold pleat, just kind of push everything together like that. And then you want to fold the pleat at the bottom as well. Alright, believe it or not, we're almost done. So here is most of the model. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to fold on the pleat down here. And we're just going to mount and fold on this crease. Trying to make sure everything stays aligned up here when we do so. And then you want to do the same thing on this side. And now what you want to do is we're going to lock the bottom together. So basically you can just wrap both sides around like this. And once again, you want the diagonal creases on top of the other creases. So basically, when you wrap it around like this, put that on top. And we're going to take these two, and we're going to stick this flap into this side of the pocket, and this flap into that side of the pocket. So it should look something a little bit like this. Basically, it's going to kind of open up and tuck around this little pocket right here. It's a little bit hard to do, but once it's done, it's done. And then you can just kind of pinch that together, help it get together. You know, stick your fingers inside, kind of squeeze everything down. And there you go. Now all we have to do is close the ends. So we're going to do like we normally do. We're going to go behind the diagonal crease on this layer, fold that square down. Using the diagonal crease, we're going to go around, fold through all the layers on that pleat. Keep folding around just like this. If you need help on this, just go to my Tetrimino video. I explain a lot better there, and if for whatever reason that's not enough, I can make another video. And then you just want to take this flap and stick it over into that pocket. Now you got to be careful not to crush it like I just did. You can blow into it. It kind of made it explode there, but that is an option, I guess, if you want to do it, or if you need to do it. Or you can just stick your finger in there and try to help. It's just you won't be able to do that on the other side if you mess that up. And then you just mirror everything over here, so fold that down, fold that down, fold that down, fold that down. You can tell I've done this a couple of times. There we go. And would you look at that, we've got the Tetrimino completed, and we're finally done with all these Tetris pieces. I hope you were able to fold all of these pieces. If you weren't, and you need another tutorial explaining a little bit more in-depth how to fold, then feel free to comment down below and let me know. Or if you just need an in-depth video on locking the ends of these, you can go to Joe Nakashima's moving cubes video. I just dropped some stuff, but these are the moving cubes. You can see the cubes close the exact same. although mine don't really stick together very well. I just completely ripped that apart. Alright, putting that down before I break it more. But yeah, I can make a dedicated video on that if more explanation is needed. And if for whatever reason you want a 8x8 grid tutorial, fine, I'll do it. But yeah, so that's all I have to offer for now. Next time I'll either be teaching my origami heart pop-up card or my whale. I do have my whale over here. My desk is a mess, but here's my whale. I might even teach my dinosaur. I teased that a long time ago. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, until then, see ya.